Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the commanding officer, USS Dallas Dennis, welcome to the retirement ceremony of Senior Chief Stephen Naputi, United States Navy. I'm Master Chief Runyon, and I will be your master of ceremonies for today's event. We're also gathered to say thanks to a great shipmate. Thanks for his many contributions, which in their own unique way have made our Navy stronger and more capable force in our never-ending fight for peace in this sometimes troubled world. Thanks for his many dedicated hours and personal initiative that have helped to make John C. Stennis the proud professional organization that it is today. Thanks for being the type of leader that has ensured the next generation of sailors are ready to meet the challenges of tomorrow. Just as this is the end of one phase in his life, it is the beginning of another. So our gathering today also gives us the opportunity to wish him every success in the future as he looks forward to new challenges and rewards. I extend an especially warm welcome to Senior Chief Naputi's wife, Breezy, his son, Stephen, Jacob, daughter, Marley, and his mother, Terry. Thanks for coming. I know that you're more than any one of us are vividly aware of the sacrifices that Senior Chief Naputi has made in the service of our country. And I speak for the entire command when I say how pleased we are to have you here today. At this time, we'll let guests please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the performance of our national anthem and the invocation. Military guests, please remain uncovered throughout the ceremony. Lieutenant Commander of the United States Navy, arriving. Senior Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy, arriving. Postal Service. Color Guard, parade the colors.
Parade the colors out, Master Chief. Forward, march. March on, march. Detail, halt. Left, face. Present, colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous height o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Harry Colors.
Color guard. Retire the colors.
Retire the colors, I, Master Chief. Ready, cut. Right, face. Forward, march.
Chief DeBon will now deliver the invocation.
Let us pray. Lord, we come here today in honor of Senior Chief Steve Naputi, his wife Breezy, daughter Marley, sons Stephen and Jacob, and family members. God, let us celebrate the day. Let us give thanks. Let us recognize this sailor, this warrior, this mentor, this father, and this husband. Senior Chief Naputi is an original, and thank you, Lord, for allowing him to be a part of our lives. Lord, before we carry on with this ceremony, our JCS mess and active duty sailors salute him. The retired chiefs welcome him, and we pray the Lord blesses him and his family, as we all wish him the traditional fair winds and following seas. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It gives me great pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Lieutenant Commander Dave Smithers.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, family, friends, Command Master Chief Rushing, men and women of the USS John C. Stennis. It's truly an honor to be here today on such a significant and joyous occasion as a celebration of Senior Chief Naputi's 23 years of service to his country and the United States Navy. Because that's what today is, this retirement ceremony. It's a celebration of life dedicated to service and professionalism and all our core values: honor, courage, commitment. And more than that, even more than dedication, it's a celebration of success, of an exceedingly difficult job done exceptionally well over an extraordinary period of time. You know, the longer I serve, the more I come to appreciate that it's not about the missions accomplished or promotions received, not about the medals or the decorations. It's about the people you get to work with, people like Senior Chief Naputi. It's an honor for me to be here to share this with Senior Chief, his wonderful wife Breezy, his children Marley, Stephen, and Jacob. Stephen, we also thank you for your service. For those of you that don't know, Stephen is a corpsman, and he serves with 1st Marine Division at Camp Pendleton. Denise, although I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about Senior Chief's accomplishments, you should know that everyone here today also knows that without your support, all throughout his naval career, none of us would be here today, taking this opportunity to celebrate a life of accomplishment and achievement. My hat is off to you, man. I'm also grateful for your service to our country. Steve and I, along with all our brothers and sisters in arms, have dedicated our lives to ensuring that the opportunity exists to raise our children in relative peace and prosperity. But it is you who seized the opportunity and who made the service worthwhile. You were mother and father when he had to be away, and having met your family, I can tell you that you did a magnificent job we both thank you. When Senior Chief asked me if I would be his guest speaker, I was and I still am so humbled. It's a challenge to capture 23 years in 15 minutes. And those who know me know that I'm an LDO, and the L stands for limited, okay? So I'm gonna do my best. Because we all know that a Mustang just cannot speak eloquently. That's not in our suitcase. But Senior Chief, you and I have a lot in common. We were both aviation electronics technicians. We both worked on altimeters and later on CAS. We both held the same NECs. We served in multiple AIMDs on multiple carriers. We both have children who are on active duty. And we were both initiated to the Chief's Mess. So, since becoming a chief back in 2001 and later an LDO, I've had the pleasure of working with many a great Chief's Mess. In fact, there's not one that I can't say that about. So it's with that insight that allows me to stand here before you today and testify that of all of the parts of our great Navy that work well, none works better than the Chief Petty Officer's Mess. No institution, no organization is so routinely excellent and routinely necessary as the Goat Locker. We officers have grand ideas, and you all know that. We talk airily about high-flown strategy and policy and use buzzwords like effects-based training and intrusive mentorship, but without a chief to turn our imaginative vapors into tangible actions. Someone will see through the strategy and determine the task. We are nothing but dreamers and romantics. The Navy may float on a sea of paperwork, but it swims by the efforts of Chief Petty Officers. You want to see something important done and done well, you don't call on a lieutenant commander. You don't call on a captain. You call on a chief. The chief is where it gets done, where the rubber meets the road. With the chief on your side, all things are possible. Without him, you are lost. Nothing can be done. It is as though you're paralyzed. And even within the Chief's Mess, they need someone to look up to. After reaching out to a few of your shipmates, and we have several that we know together, I can tell all of you that they all looked up to him, Senior Naputi. So rather than read his biography that's in your program today, I just want to point out a couple facts and try to sum up 23 years. So Steve joined in 1994. Congratulations, that's the same year that Justin Bieber was born. Forrest Gump was #1 at the box office. And Ace of Base, I had to look this up. I think it was I Have the Sign, I Got the Sign. So fitting for today. Was the #1 single. 8 days after Senior Chief enlisted, Nelson Mandela was voted in as South Africa's first black president. Pretty astonishing that you've served that long. A little piece of bad news, missed opportunity here. If Senior was able to scrape together $2,100 and bought 100 shares of Microsoft back in 1994, he'd be worth almost $750,000 today. But Senior's had a great career. He deployed on 4 aircraft carriers, the America, the Nimitz, the Reagan, the Stennis. He was tested, selected, and initiated to the Chief's Mess on the Reagan in 2010. He's been stationed on both coasts, from Norfolk to San Diego and Point Mugu, where he met his wife. He served as an instructor. He was meritoriously promoted to AT2 and was an LPO while deployed during Operations Enduring Freedom and Southern Watch. I had the honor of serving with Senior Chief on board John C. Stennis. He was in production control, which is the nerve center of our maintenance efforts in AMD. It was your demeanor that captured me, that told me I need to get you on my side. A lot of people have a leadership style where they just want to lob grenades at any problem and hope that out of the chaos, something tangible will happen. It'll resolve itself. And time again, I've seen grenades lobbed in production control, And time again, Senior Chief would walk over, pick the grenade up, put the pin back in, and defuse the whole situation. It was that demeanor that I witnessed, and you had to be my number one. You just earned my respect without me saying anything. So to illustrate that point, one time comes to mind, we had, was it a heads-up display? This is about the knob. Remember the knob? It was a HUD, right? Or was it a DDI? So we had an indicator that was holding an aircraft down. It could not launch. It was up on the deck, could not launch. The shop troubleshot it, they fixed it. The only thing that was wrong with it was they didn't have the manufacturer's knob that should have been on there. So, hey, order it, we'll get it in. Turns out they don't make it anymore. So we could wait for a new contract. We all know how long that takes. Or we can find a suitable substitute that does the fit, form, and function. And that's what happened. That's what Senior Chief directed. Now the shop, they didn't want to approve it. They didn't want to sign it off. It wouldn't pass quality assurance because it didn't have that specification, met that specification in the pub. So they're down in production control. I got QA in production control. I'm getting upset, right? Because common sense, we got to get that aircraft. Let's go. So while tempers are flaring, in part because of me, in walks a QAR from the squadron. And Senior Chief just breaks everything up, says, hey, this is what's going on. Will you take this? Well, yes, we'll take this. Are you guys stupid? So Senior Chief made the appropriate call. The math was signed off, indicating that the knob wasn't the right one, but the squadron accepted it. So in the midst of all those tempers and egos and bravado and voices being raised, Senior Chief just picked up the phone. He remembered that the customer is what's important. Later that night, like he does every night, he addressed all the work center suits in production control, and he shared that lesson with them, that there is a way, there is common sense. We can find middle ground. We can accomplish the mission with the customer's consent and do the best job we can. There's a circumstance for everything. And he brought a sense of levity, and that's just one example. And truly, you saved me on that one because I would have stroked out. Bad pun for those who know. So, today, to say we had a successful 2016 Western Pacific deployment would be an understatement. These are some facts from Commander Naval Air Forces. In the previous 6 years, and this is both coasts, okay? No carrier air wing team achieved the benchmarks that we set. We had the highest repair rate, the most operational aircraft, the lowest BCM rate, and the most fully functioning test sets in the last 6 years. And no other person deserves more credit than Senior Naputi. We went through several changes in production control. I didn't become the MMCO until about a month and a half or so into it. We swapped out the maintenance master chief a couple times. In fact, you had to step in during those roles. I can't tell you how many LPOs in the shops were swapped out. The only constant through that whole process was Senior Naputi and the group of people that you led. And it was that even keel, that demeanor, that attention to the mission and the customer that allowed AIND to achieve that much success. So, I salute you. So in the course of preparing for this, I tried to dig up some dirt. I contacted a bunch of, Facebook's just wonderful, right? So, hey, give me some dirt. No one has anything, nothing. They all testified that you got dirt on them, they don't have anything on you. I find that hard to believe, but okay. But one thing that did come back on more than one occasion was, there's times in Liberty, and we know how we are, we know how things go down, and we're having a good time, and something may happen and it's gonna get escalated. During those times, just like he did in production control, he would quell the situation. There'd be no trouble, people would listen to him, because he's influential, he's persuasive, and he knows the right thing to do. So I will tell you this after talking to those individuals, that your reputation of fixing aircraft, fixing parts, fixing test benches is equally matched by saving careers and repairing sailors. And that has come back to me time and time again. So earlier in this speech, I said today's a day of celebration, and I just want to put my last little spin on this. It's also a day of reckoning. It's a day where we settle all accounts. As he transitions to the civilian life, we have to stop and we have to make sure that the balances are paid on a few accounts. And so I want to leave you, Senior, with a sense of what is owed to you and what you owe. First of all, what you owe the Navy. The Navy left you far better off than they found you. You've been trained, you're stronger, you're wiser, you've got fortitude. So other than a paycheck, right, a retirement check and some VA benefits, the Navy doesn't owe you anything. I hate to break that to you, all right? But what you owe the Navy is just speak well. In times to come, policies are going to change. Uniforms may change. It happens. Just know that the character, the resolve, and the grit of the sailors, now and in the future, will never change. There's a commitment to excellence. So when you speak of the Navy, speak well. I already said what the Navy owes you, nothing. I kind of jumped ahead on that. All right. The last balance to be paid is what is owed to your family. We all know that in sickness, in times of celebration, or just someone to talk to, you couldn't be there because you were doing the work that the Navy does. So this balance can never be paid. The Navy can never make this right. It is up to you to live your life to the fullest, to take advantage of every opportunity to strengthen the bonds with your family. So I challenge you to do that. All right? Just live in the moment and live well. No regrets. Senior Chief, thank you for all that you have done for our country and for me and for all those that we serve with. Thank you for your service, your professionalism, and your excellence. Breezy, thank you for your service to our country and supporting Steve, for making his service worthwhile, for giving it context. Thank you both for 23 years. Stand easy, Senior Chief. You've finished the race. You've kept the faith. It's over. Well done. We have to watch now, Senior.
Chief Logan and Chief Lurch, please escort Ms. Breezy Naputi and family to the center stage. Lieutenant Commander Staley will present the Certificate of Appreciation for the United States Navy. To all see these presents greetings. By the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express to you the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy for enduring frequent and long separation from your husband and father while he served his country. These months, indeed years, that he spent away from you constitute a clear and noble demonstration of his love for you and your family. You see, he left in order to ensure a safer world, a sure peace for you. To those who say a single man cannot make a difference, I say wrong. Your husband and father did. He helped make our Navy strong and keep our nation safe. With his service to the Navy now complete, in the future, your husband and father will be able to spend more time with his family. The United States Navy thanks you for enduring these separations. Given this 31st day of December in the year of our Lord, 2017, signed G.C. Hutton, Captain, Commanding Officer, USS Johnson Stennis. Chief Melody Rothwell will now read the Wife's Watch.
While her sailor answered the call from the sea, she stood on the shore, fighting down the fear that he would not return. In his absence, she had to deal with car repairs, home maintenance, financial worries, children's injuries, and illness. All of these and more she has taken in stride so that her sailor could proudly serve our nation. Today, the side buoys are posted and the boatswain stands ready to pipe, and as she has for so many years, a sailor's wife stands waiting on the shore. Soon the pipe will sound and her sailor will come ashore for the last time. His watch stands relieved. So too does hers. We gratefully honor her courage and steadfastness and offer our best to both of them for the new life they can now begin.
Flag detail, post.
Flag detail, cover. 2, forward, march.
Senior Chief Lartigue will now read Old Glory.
Flag detail, right, wait.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over the great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up, see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant, I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is held a little higher. My colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped, I am saluted. I am respected, I am revered, I am loved, and I am feared. I have fought at every battle of every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Pearl Harbor, Korea, the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, Afghanistan, Iraq, and a score of other places long forgotten by all but those who were there with me. I was there. I have led my soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines into battle. I followed them and watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill in Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired, but my soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines cheered me. I was at Ground Zero in New York City on September 11th as cowardly fanatics attacked America. I was raised from the ashes of once proud buildings by brave firefighters, heroes who risked their lives to save others, showing all that America, although bloody, will never be beaten. Those who would destroy me cannot win, for I am the symbol of freedom, of one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I was proud. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries that I have helped set free. It does not hurt because I am invincible. I have slipped the bonds of earth, and from my vantage point of the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle, or when I fly at half-mast to honor my soldiers, my sailors, my airmen, and my Marines, and when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the grave site of her fallen son or daughter. I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave. Dear God, long may I wave.
Keeping with tradition, and as an honor to your dedicated service, on behalf of your many shipmates, including those who have made supreme sacrifices, we present to you the United States national ensign, the flag under which you have so proudly served and honorably defended. It is the true emblem of our unity, our thoughts, and our power and purpose as a nation. Accept it, protect it, guard it, and forever remember the young men and women you have trained, guided, and inspired that will follow in your footsteps and defend it with equal pride. Flag detail. Post.
Flag detail. Forward. March.
Senior Chief Naputi, front and center. Master Chief Crumpton will now present Senior Chief Naputi's retirement award. Attention to award. Department of the Navy, Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, Gold Star, and lieu of third award. 2, Senior Chief Aviation Electronics Technician, Aviation Warfare, Stephen I. Naputi, United States Navy. 4, Meritorious Service as Quality Assurance and Production Control Supervisor, Aircraft Intermediate Maintenance Department, USS John C. Stennis, from May 2015 to December 2017. Demonstrating exceptional leadership, he guided 10 first-class petty officers in the flawless monitoring and management of 42 naval aviation programs, resulting in an impressive grade on track for all programs during the 2015 Commander, Naval Air Force's Aviation Maintenance Inspection. Additionally, he managed the production efforts of 33 technicians, completing 6,175 maintenance actions, leading to the Carrier Air Wing 9's impressive 98% sortie completion rate during the 2016 Pacific deployment. Senior Chief Naputi's superior performance of duty highlights the culmination of 23 years of honorable and dedicated service, and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Signed, G.C. Huffman, Captain, United States Navy, Commanding Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Chief Logan and Senior Chief Carrillo will now present Senior Chief Naputi with his shadow box and JCS CPO Esquire. Senior Chief Naputi, on behalf of John C. Stennis, Chief's Mess, this shadow box is presented to commemorate the milestones of your highly successful career. I speak for everyone when I say we wish you an equally successful retirement. Your retirement shadow box depicts your career achievements while serving in the United States Navy. It includes your many personal awards and the uniform devices indicating the ranks that you progressed through as you worked your way up the advancement ladder. The left portion is for the national flag, symbolic of the nation you have so faithfully served during your 23 years of active duty. The right side displays our Navy flag, and the center flags represent your home state and your tomorrow rules. Senior Chief Naputi will now present a lay of flowers for this presentation.
technology. Hold on, bear with me. It's a lot to take in. First off, thank you, Lieutenant Commander, for this. Thank you for your kind words. Appreciate you. CMC, thanks for showing up. Chief's Mess, brothers and sisters, shipmates, appreciate it. Family. Thanks, Mike, Ned, Eve, Mike, Karina, Gino for coming. Uncle Ben, ex Rosie, Trish, Sheila, thank you. Boys, thanks. Thanks for coming. Wasn't gonna try to be emotional, but it's a little harder than I thought. So 23 years, right? What was I doing? 23 years ago, I was a new dad. I needed who wanted to give his son a good life. I tried the civilian route, but the pay was crappy, and healthcare just sucked. So I thought, why not? Let's join the Navy and join the military. I tried to be a Marine. I wanted to, but my brother talked me out of that. I think we talked about that last night, right, Mike? He talked me out of it. He said, man, you don't want to do that. So, okay. Sure, so I went to the Air Force. They weren't there. It wasn't going to the Army. So the Navy it was. He was there. So 23 years ago, I made that trip to the recruiters. Here we are today, 23 years, 7 months. Someone help me out, 29 days, something like that. And in my time, I met some great people from all walks of life throughout my career. You guys taught me, I've been through some good times, some bad times, and I'm appreciative of everything that I've been through, and what it has taught me, which each and every one of you guys taught me, from my brothers and sisters to the crew of the John C. Stennis, Point Magoo. You know, I appreciate everything that you guys have taught me. You guys actually taught me more than anything. Let me rewind a bit though. Maybe just didn't give me foundation. It was my parents. Foundation starts at home, and my parents did a great job raising us 7 kids. They taught us to respect ourselves, respect others, and do what's right. Do the right thing. My dad used to say always, work smarter, not harder. That's what I try to do. I guess that's why I joined the Navy and went aviation. You know, working smarter, not harder. Right? Staying the eye level, AC. I remember a story. I think I was on Reagan. I was in the radar shop, Shop 7, on Reagan, and it was, man, it's cold in there. It's like almost 30 degrees in there, right, running those benches. So we're in the middle of the Gulf. I got my foul weather jacket on, I got my beanie on, trying to stay warm, typing away, handpecking that evals. And I said, man, I need to go outside, and went out to the AIMB tunnel right there, and it was hot. So I needed to warm up, walked outside, and here's this AO carrying there's probably a bomb rack or something like that. And she was drenched from head to toe. My chief came by, he says, hey, 18-1, what are you doing out here? I said, I'm trying to warm up. Chief. And all I could hear from the background as she was walking away, must be freaking nice. Use the explicit though, right? Hold on. I'm going a little faster. All right, good. Harder. But one thing my parents taught me more than anything is trusting your family. They're always going to be there. 23 years, they were there. Family over everything. Today I'm happy to say that everyone in this room, shipmates, you're all family. No matter what, not just my brothers and sisters in the mess, but you guys back there too. AIMD, you guys are family now. Always have been. Yeah, there you go. I got you. Take care of each other. Keep each other honest and true. Okay? Give each other the tools you need to succeed. It's not just giving them a handout, getting a day off. It's using those tools necessary to succeed, right? I think some of you guys heard me say this before. Chief Smith, thank you for your support in the longest road program ever. Where you at, Freddie? Here you are. Was it 2 years, right? 2 years of on the road program? At least that's what you guys thought. Who y'all Navy Chiefs? My fishing buddies, B, Tim, Freddie, Bobby, Jeff's not here. We had some good times out there on the water, right? Slaying some trout, some bluegill. Uncle Pecos trying to catch some salmon over there at Hoodsport. It happened to, wasn't too good. One day we're gonna have to get together. We gotta make this trip again. Bobby, what up, man? Thanks, bro. Solid. You did a lot, man. So Jules Moss, bro. Come here, man. Come on. Thanks, man. Thanks for everything. I appreciate you. Hey, from you to me, man. These are gonna be yours. Here's one. Hold on. Get the other one. You're gonna be great, man. You're gonna be a great seeing you, bro. Steven, man, I'm so proud of you, son. Getting ready to go on your first deployment. Just want you to be the best you can be, man. Be safe out there. Don't hesitate. Give me a call. Let me know if you need anything. You know I got you. Jacob, son, man, I love your free spirit, boy. Your hippie-ish soul. Your hipster style. Keep your hair short, though, man. Just looks better on you. Okay? But follow your dreams. Follow your hopes and dreams, man. Reach your goals. I got you, bud. Baby, Marley, I love you. Daddy's little girl right there. I can't wait, baby, to come home and take you out for walks. Take you to whatever practice you're going to be taking, whether it be hula, soccer. Come on. Come on. No? Okay. Hula, soccer, whatever, nanny girl, we got you. Your brothers and I, we're going to take care of you. We got bows and guns. All those little boys go run. To my best friend. Nan, I hope you're ready to have a thorn in your side. Someone always in your way, messing things up that you've already set up. It's gonna be me. You're not gonna have to worry about Marley too much. You're having to worry about picking up after me. I'm just joking. I got you. I love you, baby. We still have 46 more states to hit, and I can't wait to see your smile ear to ear every day. I promise I'll always tip my waitress, because you know she'll be there all week. Yeah, all right? Thank you all for coming out, support. I appreciate you for everyone, okay? Other than that, sir, let's do this. It's time to go ashore. What do you say? Thank you.
Chief Clementa will now read the Chief Petty Officer's brief.
All Chief Petty Officers, past and present, attention to creed. Rut, on this day you have experienced that which comes to all of us that serve on active duty in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from active duty in no way terminates your relationship, regard, or obligation to the United States Navy and your fellow Chief Petty Officers. By law and tradition, U.S. Navy retirees are always on the rolls, ready to lend their service when the need arises. The respect that you have earned as the Chief was based on the same attributes that you will now carry into retirement. You should have no regrets. Do not regard your retirement as the end of an era, but rather as orders to a new and challenging assignment, to that of independent duty. Remember well that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of all maritime fraternities, that of the United States Navy Chief Petty Officers. Active duty chiefs, past and present, salute you. Hand, salute. Ready, two. Retired chiefs welcome you. And I wish you the traditional fair winds and following seas.
Chiefs, please be seated. Chief Petty Officers Ray Clark and Jason Knopps will now recite the watch.
For 23 years, 7 months, and 29 days, this sailor has stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in school, learning our trade, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this shipmate stood the watch. In those years, when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizons of history, this shipmate stood the watch. Many a times, he would cast an eye ashore and see his family standing there, needing his guidance and help, needing a hand to hold during those hard times. But still, he stood the watch.
Senior Chief Naputi stood the watch. For 23 years, 7 months, 29 days. He stood the watch so that way we, our families, and fellow countrymen can sleep soundly and safely each and every night, knowing that a sailor stood the watch. Today, we're here to say, shipmaker, you stand in the lead. Believed by those who have led, guided, and trained.
Boss, you stand with me. We have to watch.
Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. This order has been passed on naval ships from the 1500s through today. Spanish, French, British, and Dutch. Yes, all navies of the world use the boatswain. Side boys are called to bring port or send ashore all ship's company officers, visiting officers, dignitaries, and important personnel. The side boys will haul on the ropes and raise and lower the boarding platform so officers would not have to climb the ratlines, which hung over the side for use by the enlisted crew when going ashore or to get aboard. This honor was extended to visiting officers, dignitaries, and port officials. It was not uncommon for the commanding officer of the ship to order up the jolly boat. The crew of 8 strong men, side boys and boatsmen, to send an old shipmate to a short retirement home, never to sail a naval ship again. All hands on deck was passed. Speeches were made about great victories, battles fought upon the open seas, raging storms weathered, and voyages to distant and strange lands with ports of call that only others dreamed of. Bosun, post the side boys, shipmate going ashore. rise and remain standing through the remainder of the ceremony. Uniformed guests, please come. Chief Devon will now deliver the benediction.
Let us pray. Lord, may we remember this day and embrace the day. May we continue to carry the new legacy of Senior Chief Naputy's beloved Navy and his sailors, because, Lord, even in retirement, they will always be his sailors. God, don't forget to hold Senior Chief Naputy's heart and spirit as he departs our hallowed halls. He is one of a kind, and we are blessed he served the world's finest Navy. Navy Chief, Navy Pride, Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Chief Naputy will now request permission to go ashore for the last time. Senior Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy, retired, departing. All Chief Petty Officers proceed to posted sideways area. Navy family, United States Navy, retired, departing. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this portion of the ceremony. On behalf of Senior Chief Naputy, thank you for taking part in this time-honored tradition. Please join the Naputy family in the reception room for cake and